Alright, the Snuggie's out. It's a new year. Happy New Year to all of you, by the way. Hope you're recovering from your New Year's hangovers quite well. And what better way for me to help you get through that by giving you my list for the top 10 worst movies of 2025. My best list came out yesterday. Y'all seem to be having fun with that. Now we get into the polar opposite. Once again, though, I do have to make some really quick points here. Number one, again, I didn't see every movie that got released in 2025. However, here, I apologize for nothing. Because like I said before, the only way I'm going to go out of my way to see a shitty movie is if I feel it's a movie that I just need to see. And naturally, I'm not really going out of my way to see movies that I hear are terrible. And yeah, this is always a harder list for me to make. For some people who do this more for a living or more often, it's a little easier because they see a lot more movies than I do. Me, I avoid the ones that are bad, but because I still go as often as I do, I'm still usually able to find about 10 movies that are fitting for a list like this. Also, once again, please keep in mind, this is my personal top 10 worst list. If you enjoyed any of these movies, you liked any of these movies, that's all well and good. I can only speak for myself here. Alright, I want to get this over with, so let's get started. Alright, at number 10 is a movie that I honestly completely forgot that I saw, and that was The Amateur. And as I was going through my list of movies that I saw and didn't like, I thought about leaving this one off because I kind of completely forgot about it. But then I thought about it more, and I was like, no, a movie like that deserves to be on a worst of the year list. I can appreciate the concept of this movie. Rami Malek, his wife is killed by a bunch of terrorists. He works for the CIA. He's not good enough to go into the field, so he gotta use his brain to get revenge on these guys. That's a concept that could totally work. But no, the trailer for this movie gave away all the revenge elements, anything that was really meant to be tension-filled or exciting. You already knew what was going to happen because of that. And aside from that, it's just this really boring, slow chase of him trying to go after these terrorists. He makes a little pit stop at one point to just hang out with this ally of his. It was dumb, it was boring, it nearly put me to sleep. Revenge flick's supposed to be exciting and satisfying. This was anything but that. My next number 9 is a movie that I'm only putting at 9 because I understand I shouldn't take this too seriously, but I still didn't like Anaconda, regardless of that. I can appreciate Hollywood trying to poke fun at itself and how they go about reboots and how they attempt remakes and how it's meant to be these easy cash grabs that they think are going to be smarter for people of a new generation. Doesn't change the fact that the movie's not scary, it just relies on jump scares to get the thrills going. The movie uses a bunch of really stupid jokes that they recycle more often than they should. The only truly scary thing in this movie was how bad the CGI was. Seriously, that Anaconda looked like shit. Movie might have thought it was getting a free pass. He was trying to illustrate, yeah, we know this is stupid, we know this is dumb, but yeah, just because you know you are that thing doesn't mean I'm going to ignore that you are that thing. Next up might have been my biggest disappointment of the year. I actually had hope going into Karate Kid Legends. I was coming off that high that Cobra Kai gave us. The idea of having Mr. Han and Daniel LaRusso training this one kid, I thought that was going to be cool. But this is just a movie that really had no idea what it wanted to go for, and frankly, once it figured it out, it doesn't even make any sense. A kid who was trained in martial arts in China comes to New York, he doesn't know anybody, he starts getting picked on by this other Karate Kid expert student. It's like, you trained under Jackie Chan, and at one point you kicked the crap out of people trying to mug your girlfriend's dad. Why is this kid a problem for you? The tournament wasn't exciting, they breezed right through that. This whole first half of the movie is like him teaching the dad how to fight again. It doesn't feel like Karate Kid. It's just a complete and total mess. I had no idea what I wanted to be, and the only crane kick you get in this movie was just a real kick in the nuts for anyone who was a fan of this franchise. I wish I could say I'm disappointed in the way the Jurassic Park franchise has unfolded, but when I look at Jurassic World Rebirth now, you just can't help but just shrug at it, because this is just what it is now. It's the Fast and Furious franchise with dinosaurs. It's the same ridiculous premise that gets more insane and stupid over and over again, but it makes money, so here we are. I went into this movie trying to be hopeful, thinking, okay, maybe this is the one that's going to work. But then in the first 3 minutes of the movie, a fucking candy rabbit gets sucked into an air vent, which sets off an alarm, the dinosaur gets free of its cage, and it kills people, and I just, just died a little inside because this is just what it's come to. I didn't care for a single human character in this movie, of course. Once again, you've got the dumb people that are on the trip. You've got the evil corporate people that are trying to use the dinosaurs for their own advantage. There's not one thrilling, exciting moment whatsoever. The dinosaurs in this one, oh my god, they look like shit. Seriously, the D-Rex or whatever the fuck that thing was, it looked like a really poorly drawn version of Alien hate fucked a toad. I'm not even exaggerating, that's what it looked like. But I'm the sucker that's gonna go keep checking them out, hoping for the best. I just gotta keep preparing for the worst. Next at number 6 is another continuation to a movie that was really big in the 90s, a sequel that not many people I think really asked for, but yeah, here we are with Happy Gilmore 2. Some people out there enjoyed this movie, and again, if you did, that's great, congratulations. But this is the kind of Adam Sandler humor that doesn't work for me, where it just leans way too heavily into the stupid. The golf tournament in this one's completely outrageous and ridiculous. I mean, they don't really play into Happy Gilmore's anger, sort of like rage that he let out whenever he missed the putt that made the first one so funny. The only character in this movie you're supposed to care about is his daughter, because his sons are all exactly like him and they don't provide any humor to this whatsoever. I don't know how many of Adam Sandler's friends he got to be in this movie, but clearly there's quite a few of them. I'm all for having famous people show up and make an appearance or be a part of your movie, but when that's all they're doing is just showing up to be a cameo, I mean, at that point, what's the point of having them here? Except for just having a name to your movie. I'm sure Adam Sandler's just in on a bunch of fuck you money right now, and, well, that's the message he's delivering to his fans with shit like this. Okay, so the first half of movies I just listed for you, they were more so disappointments than they were like god-awful movies, I would say. These ones shift more into the god-awful fashion. Love Hurts is one of these movies that has just gotten more and more worse the more I think about it. Hollywood, once again, just gets into this rhythm. They bring an actor sort of out of retirement in Ke Huy Quan. He crushes it in a movie, and now they just feel the need to shove him down our throat and put him in everything, including genres he probably doesn't need to be in. I can't buy into him as an action star. It's not gonna happen. They try to set up a romance with him and another character that I could not get behind whatsoever. The action in this movie, it's not even remotely enjoyable or fun. Was probably the slowest movie too. I mean, this was an hour and a half. I felt like I was in prison for like 3 hours trying to deal with this movie. I guess it's nice to finally see Marshawn Lynch start talking more, considering he didn't do that in the NFL, but seeing the way he acts, I don't know, maybe it was better when he kept his mouth shut. Seeing him get his ass kicked by Shorty and Indiana Jones, yeah. It's not exactly gonna make for a successful action thriller. Okay, this is the part where you really see my age. I know people like this movie. I know it made money. I don't care. No one's gonna convince me that the Minecraft movie was good. I understand video game movies are the new wave. They're always gonna try this. It will always be something they attempt, but this is failure. Yeah, I know, there's a lot of memes that went with this. Everyone freaking out over I Am Steve and Chicken Jockey. Why was Chicken Jockey like the most revolutionary thing in movie theaters? People setting off fireworks, people acting like animals. Give me a fucking break. The world in this movie looks like complete shit. The characters aren't likable. Jack Black, I mean, it makes sense he's in a movie like this. Should he be choosing these projects? I don't think so. I've seen him be in better shit. I get the point of Minecraft. You can create your own world. You can do so much with it. Yeah, that sounds cool, and you could probably make a good movie out of this, but this just feels like they took the cheap route because they just knew people were going to show up for it, so just do whatever works. It's lazy filmmaking with this one. That's the only way I can describe it. I think what made this movie even higher on my list, because this is me recognizing how old and bitter I'm becoming as a man, you know. I just can't relate to movies like this, but that's just because I didn't eat paint chips as a kid. Black Swan with football. That's what I thought him was going to be going into that. And I feel like it tried to be, but it ended up fucking itself over. It's one of those movies that really tries to be smarter than it is, or wants to make you think that it's smarter than it actually is. The movie had no idea what to be. I can appreciate the idea of this young football prodigy trained under the best quarterback in the league trying to usurp him. But the moments in this movie that were meant to feel intense or scary, they just kind of end up feeling really stupid and really just kind of weird and out of place. It throws in a bunch of weird imagery and weird, I think, underlying messages I think the movie's trying to have in it to try to make you feel smarter, but you're kind of just watching this like, what am I in right now? The whole thing feels like a horrible fever dream. You know what it is? Maybe it's meant to be this parallel of CTE. Maybe this is one of those movies like you watch it and you're seeing a bunch of really ridiculous shit and guys are getting the hell beat out of them and you're tripping out and you're going Bananaville. It's like, hey, yeah. It's a message for concussion. That's what this movie was. Like, yeah, traumatic brain injury is a real thing. Antonio Brown, he's never gonna get better. This is what he sees every day, and we want you to experience that as well. In which case, hey, maybe I missed the whole point entirely, and this movie's actually genius for conveying what a concussion, long-lasting effect feels like, because that's what this movie was. But the reality is, it absolutely wasn't that. It was a legit attempt at a sports horror movie, and it fumbled that concept so hard that even Mark Sanchez is laughing at it. I don't care if it has a following. I don't care if it makes money. These Five Nights at Freddy's movies are cancer. Five Nights at Freddy's 2, it's the same shit as the first one, and I hated the first one. The problem with this movie, though, it's like, it's taking place immediately after the events of the first movie, so why is this stupid fucking girl going back to the fucking evil Chuck E. Cheese to try to find her friends again after what happened the last one? They almost killed everybody. Everyone in this movie is a selfish idiot. Josh Hutcherson, he's the worst older brother in the world. He never pays attention to this sister who's clearly got some shit. Enlist her in fucking therapy, because that's what she needs after a shit like the first one. Stupid security guard bitch girl, I mean, she keeps hiding all these secrets. She's clearly sitting on so much information that she just doesn't want to share with people because she's an asshole. Not one fun kill in this movie. You know why? Because it's PG-13. Just make it rated R. People will still come to see this movie. I mean, come on. I see a lot of people sneak into R-rated movies. You'd be surprised at the yunnins I see in movies like that. At least then we could walk out with some satisfying kills. Even the ones who deserve to be killed in this movie, when they die, it's very, you know, you see the shadows, you don't see any blood, and you're just like, oh man, I could be missing some really good shit right now. Here's hoping that third one that inevitably gets made finally wraps this whole thing up, because I don't know how much more of this I can deal with. And here we are, the #1 movie of the year, the very easy, clear #1 movie. There was, when I saw War of the Worlds, it pretty much locked itself into that. There is an argument, I guess, to be made that it would fall into one of those, it's so bad, it's good. I mean, I can kind of see where that's coming from. But the so bad it's good concept, I mean, I could see movies like Batman and Robin, or as my fiance will tell me, the Twilight Saga fall into that category. I can't see this being in that category, because the whole idea is just ridiculous. Let's take an alien invasion movie and let's film it from a screensaver from a guy's office. Ice Cube clearly didn't believe in this mess. He's clearly not meant to be in the forefront of a movie like this. The aliens in this movie, what the fuck were these things? It looks like a fucking toaster had sex with a mechanical octopus and made a retard baby. Yeah, I said it. The movie's not intense, it's not scary. Again, it doesn't even really focus on the aliens, because the whole thing's told from a guy who's basically dealing with the situation from his office. Like, whose idea was that? The family element in this movie was just completely wasted and stupid. His children in this movie, they provide absolutely nothing. Seriously, that daughter's boyfriend, I want to punch that guy in the face. And you can tell it was a movie clearly distributed by Amazon as a way to sell their, you know, services. I mean, seriously, when people get banned out of life or death situations because of a drone delivering a package, or someone being able to do something with like an Amazon QR code or whatever it fucking was, fuck off with that right now. They said it was made during COVID, you can clearly tell that, and I don't understand how you couldn't have just written this movie off. It was clearly made for nothing. Why did you feel a need to release it? You could have just, you know, flushed that little turd down the toilet and none of us would have known. Instead, you had to release this onto the world to just further taint your image when it comes to entertainment. Good going, Amazon. You want to talk badly paced movies? Again, hour and a half long. I was out of my mind for most of it. And yet, it's for all those reasons, War of the Worlds is the very clear #1 worst movie of 2025. And there it is, kids. That is my list for the top 10 worst movies of 2025. I hope you all enjoyed watching it, because I don't enjoy making this ever, but I do this for you. With that, 2025 is officially wrapped up, so yeah, again, thank you guys for enjoying me. Thank you for coming on here and watching my videos. Thank you for leaving your comments. I appreciate all of you. Excited to head into what is going to be a big year of 2026. I'll talk about that more soon when I give you guys my list for the 10 most anticipated movies of 2026. But until then, that's all I gotta say. So once again, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know what your least favorite movies of the year were. Trust me, it does feel good to vent a little bit and get it off your chest, movies that just pissed you off and made you mad. So please, have at it down there. And also, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.